Hello students, I am your biology teacher Mrs. Ruxana Michael, and today we will start our chapter number 2, Structural Organization of Life. And in this chapter we will study cell as a basic unit of living organisms and discovery of cell and cell theory, concepts of light microscopy and electron microscopy, and difference between electron microscope and light microscope. First of all, we see that what is the discovery of cell and what is cell theory. For centuries, scientists had no idea that the human body consists of trillions of cells. Our body consists of trillions, million, billions and trillions cells. And you know what piece of technology made the discovery of cells possible? Yes, the answer is the microscope. So we will see the history, how cell theory came into being and how scientists worked on it. So you know that biologists, they worked and they observed many things, and these observations started with the discovery of magnifying glasses. First of all, they discovered magnifying glasses, and later on with the development of microscope. Afterward, microscope developed. In 1610, Galileo developed microscope to observe small organisms, and after this, in 1665, Robert Hooke made an improvement in microscope by combining lenses. He used many lenses there in the microscope to improve the magnification, and that is called compound microscope because there are many lenses used. And he examined a slice of cork. Cork is a you can say bark of the oak tree. Oak is a type of tree and it is a bark of oak tree. So when he examined that, he found small honeycomb like chamber, or you can say small box shaped structures, and these box shaped structure he called cells. Why he called cells? Because these cells reminded him small rooms of monastery. Monastery, you know, there monks they live and are said to cellula. He was Italian, and in Italian small room mean cellula. So afterward, one German scientist, and the name of this German scientist is Matthias Schleiden. So he also studied plants and concluded that all plants are made of cells. So how he examined? By the microscope, and he said plants also they have small units, and these units are cells. After this, Schleiden, one more scientist, and his name was Theodor Schwann stated that all animals are made up of cells. He stated all animal cells are made up of cells, like plants also made up of cells and animal also made up of cells. Afterward, in 1855, one more scientist whose name was Rudolf Virchow stated that new cells come only from other cells. That is, animal cells come from animal cell and plant cells come from plant cells. So it means we have studied biogenesis. So he said that these living cells come from the pre-existing living cells, right? So these are the three which we have discussed. This become the salient feature of cell theory. So number one, all living organisms are composed of one or more cells. Number two, the cell is the basic unit of structure and organization of organisms. Means all the organisms, they made up of cells. Cell arise from pre-existing cells. Means cells which are exist, they form new cells, right? New cells come from the pre-existing new cells, pre-existing cells. Okay, so who were the scientists? Matthias Schleiden, then Theodor Schwann, and then Rudolf Virchow. So that cell theory is the combination of work of these three scientists. Let's see, they are talking about microscope, so we also should see that what are the characteristics of these two microscopes. So it is called light microscopy and electron microscopy. So the discovery and early studies of cell progressed with the invention of visual instrument, and these visual instruments are electron microscope and light microscope. So with these microscope, what happened? Various types of you can say cells and tissues, scientists they studied more you can say clearly, and they told about the cells and tissues more clearly. Now we will see that what is light microscope. Before we discuss electron microscope, we have to see light microscope. Light microscope first used by scientists, as well as microscope you use in your biology laboratory. We also use in the laboratory, that is also compound microscope, or you can say light microscope. And why it is compound? Because it has many lenses. These microscope use visible light. Okay, so it means for light microscope we have to use light, source of light. Why? For illumination. Then glass lens is also there, and these lenses reflect the light in a way that image of the specimen is magnified as it is projected into human eye. Okay, so the light microscope can magnify the object up to 1,000 times, but it is resolving power it's very limited. Light microscope's resolving power is very limited. Now in 1935, a new type of powerful microscope, and that microscope is called electron microscope, was invented. So it uses a beam of electron. They use beam of electron as a source of illumination, and that electron microscope is quite, you can say, big. And modern electron microscope can achieve a resolution of about 0.2 nanometer. Okay, so the electron microscope uses electromagnet. So they use electromagnet in it as lenses. So it means glass lenses, they are not present in electron microscope. Okay, so therefore screen also important. So photographic plates they use to review and focus these images. So images, they focus on the photographic plates. So in this way, an electron microscope reveals many organelles, that organelles which light compound microscope cannot reveal, but this electron microscope can reveal many small, very little organelles. Like organelles, we you know that organelles of cells. But in light microscope, many advantages, especially for the study of live cells. We can study live cells in the compound microscope, but not in electron microscope. Right? So physical and physical method are also used to prepare sample which kills cells. So it is happen in electron microscope. Electron microscope, that microscope kills the cells. That is why we cannot study live cells there. So now come to difference. This is very important. Difference between light microscope and electron microscope. So first of all, illuminating source is light. We have discussed it, that light is necessary for the compound microscope, but illuminating source is the beam of electrons. Beam of electron, they pass through electron microscope. Then specimen preparation takes usually few minutes or 2 hours. In few minutes we can ready our slide to put inside this light microscope. Now what happened there? Specimen preparation usually takes few days. So it takes time. Electron microscope takes time. Live or dead specimen may be seen, but here only dead or dried specimen are seen. Specimen means that the you can say animal cell or plant cell or anything which we want to see under the microscope, it is called specimen. Now consider condenser. Condenser, objective and eyepiece. These are the parts of light microscope which you will discuss in other chapter, and we also will see the parts of the light microscope, and in practical also we will do this. So condenser, objective and eyepiece lenses are made up of glasses. They are made up of glass, but here all lenses are electromagnetic. because there is you can say we cannot see the with our eye, so that is why lenses are not necessary, or lenses they do not use in it. Now it has low resolving power. Resolving or resolution power is very low, 0.25 micrometer or to 0.3 micrometer, but here it has high resolving power, and that is 0.001 mu m or micrometer, about 250 times higher than light microscope. So very small thing we can see in the electron microscope, but not in light microscope. It has a magnification of 15x to 500x to 1500x. So what is the meaning of x here? X means image being viewed will appear to be 100 times its actual size. So 100 times it bigger than its actual size, but here in electron microscope it has a magnification of 1 million, or we can say 100,000 x to 300,000 x. So it is quite, you can say, big image we can found in the electron microscope. This image is quite big. Image is colored. We can also see the some parts with the help of this light microscope colored. We can also apply the color on it to prominent the parts of the some cells, but here image is black and white. So there is no need of high voltage electricity, means we do not need any electricity source in the light microscope, but here high voltage electric current is required. So that is 50,000 volts and above we need to work this electron microscope. So these are some differences. There are many other differences also, but we have discussed few differences in it. Now come to home assignment. These two questions are very important. Name the scientist who gave the cell theory and describe the salient features of cell theory. Number 2, write down the differences between electron microscope and light microscope. And students, one more thing I want to tell you. You do your work in your notebooks, school notebooks, copies. You do all the work which I have given in previous lecture. You also do the work in your biology notebook, okay? And keep it with you, and whenever we will ask, you provide these copies, okay? Thank you very much. God bless you.